but I'd end up taking over.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody, and
everyone.
welcome to the Microsoft Pulse. I'm Tamara. This is Tom, and we're going to take you through the Microsoft roadmap about what's new and what has changed. And the roadmap, if you're new to the Pulse, the roadmap is broken up into 4 sections. In development, Microsoft is working on it. Rolling out, coming soon to a tenant near you. Launched, in a tenant near you, and canceled.
Womp,
And we
womp,
have nothing,
womp.
yeah, thank you. And we have nothing canceled this week. So, Tom, why don't you get us started with what's in development? What's your
Sure.
favorite? What trips your trigger or floats your boat?
Well, there's actually a number of things in development side that looked
Yeah, don't
rather
take them all
interesting.
now.
No, because I would be talking for the next 10 minutes. So I'm not going to do that. Uh,
Okay.
a couple that I will take from Outlook, since they seem to be somewhat grouped together. One is pinned ability to always see who is in the office based on work hours and location. So this is for the, let's hashtag it, new Outlook for Windows. This introduces an always on ability to see who is in the office based on work hours and location. This information will be pinned, available, on the top right corner of the calendar surface in the new Outlook for Windows and the web. And for those of you who are wondering, how come they always do this hashtag new Outlook for Windows? They actually put that hashtag for all the things that basically apply to new Outlook for Windows. So yeah, it's just become a running joke for us. Um, Outlook, pick a local folder for saving attachments. Once again, another new Outlook for Windows. Users are now able to pick a folder when saving an attachment in the new Outlook for Windows. I think that's really nice instead of just having everything go to the download folder and then perhaps having to go out to Windows File Explorer and move it around based on where you might want to have it. So that's something that's coming in October, and actually that is going to GCC. So apparently it's already out in worldwide. So in the first one that I did, that is going to worldwide pretty much. No love for the government tenants on that one.
I
And
know.
oh, one more. Outlook, new work location sharing options. This updates the work location sharing options to include the option of not sharing any location information with other users in the organization. The 3 supported location sharing options will now be no location shared, only general location shared, office or remote, and detailed location shared, building and or desk location. The location sharing office will be respected when showing a user's location information coming from work hours and locations across Outlook places and Teams experiences. So I think that's kind of nice where you can get a little bit more detailed about, am I just in the office? Am I just remote? If I'm in the office, where specifically I am, or I just don't want anybody to know where I'm at, period. So you now have additional options that will be going out to worldwide and GCC sometime in October. Tamara, what do you have?
I've got a couple. They're Copilot related.
There are a few of this time.
So, SharePoint Copilot agents in SharePoint. So, SharePoint users can create a Copilot agent in SharePoint simply by selecting the SharePoint sites and or files. Share these Copilot agents with your team to use in SharePoint or in Teams. Then we also have a duplicate. So instead of
Yeah,
reading it to you twice, I'll just read it to you once.
because I couldn't find any
Microsoft.
differences.
No, I'm like matchy matchy. Microsoft Copilot, easily write a prompt or choose quick actions from the Copilot icon in your Word doc. So the Copilot icon in your document margin makes it easy to quickly add a prompt or choose from a range of quick options Copilot can offer. Let's see. I seem to recall there being one more, and I
Further on
think it's
down,
in rolling
SharePoint,
out.
well, SharePoint authoring Copilot in SharePoint. That one's an interesting one. So authoring Copilot in SharePoint combines the power of large language models, LLMs, your data in the Microsoft Graph, and best practices to create engaging new web pages. It can utilize built-in templates or custom templates from your organization, along with existing documents as grounding data to generate high-quality page content. All of this is achieved while upholding our commitment to data security and privacy in the enterprise. So I think it's nice that they're bringing in Copilot to enable you to start building pages and possibly include the content at the same time. So I think that's really cool. That's not coming out until January, and that's definitely only going to worldwide. I don't think that Copilot's quite making it to the government tenants yet in that much, you know, stuff going on there. Um, One other one that I saw that I thought was interesting, Microsoft Teams, team devices update only when idle. Updates from Team Admin Center for Teams devices will happen only when they are idle. This will minimize end user disruption. This is coming
Does
out
that
in November.
mean that you are not idle in a meeting?
I'm hoping it means like you are showing away and you haven't touched anything and it's not doing anything. Therefore, we're going to update you now.
Okay.
I hope
I hope that's the way it works.
because it's coming to everybody.
Because
So
you better like it.
you better like it because you're going to get it. So that's all I had in development.
All right, let's roll on to rolling out, and I'll go ahead and start. Microsoft Teams breakout room support for Microsoft Team Rooms on Windows. So, with breakout room support, Teams Rooms on Windows can be added to a breakout room and moved in and out of the main room, making it easy for breakout session coordination. Now, that's coming to a tenant near you, and it looks like everybody's getting the love. So that's going to the worldwide tenant, DoD, GCC, and GCC High.
And if you don't have it yet, you should have it in the next, 10 hours?
30 minutes. Yep. Microsoft Teams, describe it to design it within Teams workflows. So you can't find a workflow template that matches what you need. You will now be able to describe in detail on how you want your automation to work, and from that description, generate a workflow to match your needs. I'm
Actually,
excited about that. I just used ChatGPT. Sorry, it wasn't Copilot. I used ChatGPT to develop the JSON for an adaptive card.
nice.
So that was fun for me. That's coming out to worldwide and GCC. Then we also have
Just
Microsoft
taking
Teams
everything, aren't you?
webinars in GCC High, which is fabulous. So team, not DoD yet. Team webinars is available for GCC High clouds. This includes similar functionality that's already availability for worldwide multi-tenant, such as interactivity for up to 1,000 attendees, registration support, co-organizer support, breakout rooms, attendee reporting, and dynamic 365 marketing integration. So again, that's coming out to GCC High. And then the other one for Teams, meeting options to control participants' ability to admit attendees from the lobby. When I am having a private meeting, there is nothing. Okay, there's a couple things. Like you have your microphone on and you're eating a bag of chips. But another thing that drives me crazy is when people randomly admit people. I'm like, I don't know who that person is. This is a private meeting. This is sensitive information. Do not be admitting people to a meeting you did not schedule. Right after I've admitted people in a meeting
In
that I
meeting
did
that
not
you didn't
schedule.
schedule. That's
So
different
meeting
though.
organizers will have the option in meeting settings on who can admit attendees from the lobby into the meeting. Now, this is currently rolling out to everybody, and it's going to worldwide and GCC. You would think where they need it is GCC High and DoD,
The
but that's the
privacy aspect.
last place they're rolling it out to.
Yeah.
What do you got, Tom?
So I've got a couple here that because I had a lot of the ones you had yellowed also to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
One is one that we have in our tenant. It's kind of interesting, and that is SharePoint improvements for document library version history limits. So historically, you've been able to do versioning in a document library, and you either had no versioning or you did the number of versions you wanted to keep. And by default, I believe it comes out at 500. Well, now you've got a couple other options that are not just based on count files or count values. So this reduces the storage footprint driven by low value file versions. So, it's like, oh, I changed a period, big deal. But if it was a, 200 gig file, you've now got another 200 gig out there for that particular one. So what they've done with the upcoming changes, tenant and site admins or document library owners will now have two versions of history setting. Automatic mode that intelligently expires new and existing version based on their age and restore probability. So there's a little bit of AI in that one, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And two, manual mode that will allow admins to set time-based versioning expiration and count limits on new and existing versions. These controls enable admins to set an appropriate level of recoverability and auditability for their organization balanced with storage or storage usage considerations. Version history limits and management also apply to OneDrive for Business. So this is great if somebody's changing this, file every day and it's getting, 100 meg, 150 meg, and it's just putting new versions out there multiple times a day. Maybe you want to say, I want to store versions, but I don't necessarily need 500 of them. Maybe I just want to keep stuff for the last month. And that way, what happens is at the end of 30 days, these version histories start rolling off instead of an actual hard count. Or if it's a situation where these things are rolling out day by day, but they're just minor little changes like last modified date when nobody actually modifies it. I've got a feeling that automatic mode is going to go out and say, hey, nothing really changed except for the modified by, but there was nothing that was really modified. Therefore, we're going to get rid of some of these versions because they really don't mean anything. So I think that's really cool. That is in the process of rolling out. As I said, we have it in our tenant now. And that's coming out to SharePoint and OneDrive worldwide. No GCCs on that one. And then the other one, which I think is really cool, actually, a couple of them that are really cool. Microsoft Copilot, receive coaching on your writing in Copilot for Word. So Copilot context menu will include an option to get AI generated coaching. Copilot will review the writing and offer suggestions for high impact areas such as logical structure, flow, and tone. Yeah, if you tend to be tone deaf with stuff that you write, this is really good. It's like taking the whole thing, slapping it into Chat GPT, and having it come back with something that has a different, tone to it or feel to it. Now you're going to be able to do that within Copilot within Word directly, and I think that's an awesome thing. And then the last thing that I have that I wanted to mention was OneDrive. OneDrive colored folders in File Explorer. So users will be able to view and manage OneDrive colored folders from within the Windows File Explorer. So you've been able to use the web-based version of OneDrive to make colored folders for whatever you want for whatever reason. Well, now when you open up that OneDrive in your Windows File Explorer, those colored folders are going to also show up there now rather than just everything being a manila folder. And I'm assuming you'll be able to set the colors and manage them that way in Windows File Explorer. Really looking forward to seeing when we get that one because I'm sure some people are just going to love that one to pieces. So those were all the ones I had for rolling out.
Fabulous. That means we're moving on to launched. So I'll go ahead and take bookings. SMS notifications for staff scheduled appointments in bookings premium. So if you have a Microsoft Teams premium license, you can now set up text message notifications in Microsoft Bookings to be sent to the person booking an appointment. Currently, the notifications will only be sent when an appointments are scheduled by an attendee via a published booking page. With this update, the capability is extended to include sending text message confirmations and reminders to the attendee when appointments are booked through the calendar scheduling experience in bookings by a scheduler or a staff member. So that should be out to everybody who is in the worldwide tenant. Tom, you want to take the rest?
Sure. I've got a couple that I'll mention here for Microsoft Copilot. Copilot in Teams meetings will take the meeting chat into account. So if you ask Copilot in a Teams meeting a question, now it will use the chat in the transcript as a source instead of just, listening to what's going on in the transcription live and the whole bit. Getting that chat in can add a, additional element of being able to get perhaps things that haven't been mentioned in the transcript or haven't been said, but somebody's typing the stuff in the chat. You're going to be able to get a little bit more information in terms of getting those answered questions coming through for you. And the last one that I really like, and that is image generation in Copilot chat. This could be really dangerous, but so much fun. Create images using natural language to visualize concepts and ideas within the workflow of Copilot for Microsoft 365. So if you're used to using some of your image generation tools like Dolly or something like that, it sounds like you're going to get a little bit more of that kind of flexibility to say, hey, I'm in a chat. Give me a picture that, um, denotes like a failed project and the doom and gloom surrounding it. And poof, you're going to get a nice picture that you can slam out there to make your point. And you didn't have to go and try to, look up something in search and go through pages and pages of search results. It's going to give you something based on what your description was. So that should be out now. It came out in September. Copilot worldwide. So again, not a GCC government client thing, but if you're using Copilot, that could be a lot of fun to work with. And one of these days, hopefully, I will get to do that. So those were the only ones I wanted to mention. Anything you got
Great.
left on your list?
Nope, that takes care of everything.
Cool.
And that covers the Microsoft roadmap for this edition of the Pulse. Thanks so much for tuning in and have a great day. Bye now.
Bye, everyone.